Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to my Facebook Live. And this is Rao Kankatala. I'm going to spend some time today talking about one of the most important, in fact, my passionate topics. The gentleman who needs no introduction, that's a leadership legend and somebody who's iconic in personal development. That's Mr. John C. Maxwell. John C. Maxwell wrote a book, which is 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And he actually spent more than 20 years writing that incredible book. When I started reading that book in my early days of entrepreneurship, I really understood that what exactly the leadership means and what are the things I need to do so that I can actually become better and also influence people in a positive way. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually spend, probably in the next 15 to 20 minutes talking about the first law or the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. That's called the law of lead. And it's absolutely phenomenal. Why? Because it actually helped me to grow as a person. It also helped me to do a lot of things in the business. So, it's absolutely phenomenal that, I can add some value to all the entrepreneurs out there that who wants to make a difference and who wants to basically take control of their future and also impact people in a positive way. So I'm really excited to be on this. So what is actually the law of lead? So the law of lead, your ability to lead determines your level of effectiveness. That's what the law of lead states for. And today I'm going to talk about what exactly it is, what are the things we can do so that we can actually impact our leadership. So you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a professional, you could be somebody who wants to, upskill yourself, be it in your career development or professional development or personal development. So I truly believe that if you understand this law, if you apply this law, if you implement this law, definitely you will have a lot of success, in what we're doing in terms of this as well. Fantastic. So it's quite fascinating to understand. So I didn't understand what exactly the law is. To be honest with you all, this picture, when I saw what exactly the law of lead, when I saw it probably 11 years ago, it sums up everything. So it's very, very important that we need to understand what is, our ability and where is our lead and what are the lead lifters are. Okay, so like I said, that the law states that the leadership is the ability, leadership ability is the lead that determines a person's level of effectiveness. What it means is, so if you as a leader, if your ability to lead is lower, so in fact, if you really look into that picture, that actually sums it up. The lower an individual's ability to lead, the lower the lead on their potential. Okay, so this is to sum up, I can say something like this, right? So if you want to influence and if you want to lead others, it depends on where your lead and your level of thinking is. So it's fantastic. So what does it mean for you actually? Okay, so one of the first things I want to talk about is how can we actually increase the effectiveness as a leader? So to reach the highest level of effectiveness, we as individuals, we need to raise the lead on our leadership ability. Now, how do we actually do that? Now, the leadership ability determines a person's level of effectiveness. So it's very simple. The higher you want to climb, for example, you are a particular in an organization, so you are an associate, you're a manager, you want to go to the higher ranks. So how you can actually climb up is purely based on the amount of the leadership you bring to the organization. So if you hire your leadership, automatically you can increase your effectiveness as a leader too. Now, the greater the impact you want to make as well, and the greater your influence need to be. See, one thing I understood, that leadership is not a position, leadership is not a title, leadership is influence, leadership is responsibility, leadership is serving others to achieve what they want to achieve, which exactly helps you increase your lead as well. Okay, now how can we actually become successful in increasing our effectiveness as a leader? So the first thing is, because we are in anything you do, for example, you work in a job, you run your traditional business, or you're an entrepreneur, what do? So we actually serve internal customers, we serve external customers. So first and foremost important thing, if you want to increase your level of effectiveness, you need to include others within your organization. Okay, now be accountable to someone. Now I'm saying that, it's very important that you need to have an accountability buddy. Why? Because accountability buddy actually helps you, because there are two types of people. One could be a nice accountable partner, and also the other person could be a good accountable partner. What I'm trying to say is somebody who is accountable, who you are accountable to. Now, there is a difference between nice leader and a good leader. So what is nice leader? So nice leader is somebody, they will only tell things that makes you happy. But good leader is somebody where they actually tell you what you need to hear, but not what you want to hear. So when you're choosing your accountability buddy, it's very, very important that you need to pick the right good leader, because you need some critical feedback so that they can help you lift your lead as well. Now think about working with, through, and not for, which is very, very important. Now do the stuff that others don't like doing. It's very important, guys. So leadership, where most of the people, if you want to follow the crew, or the crowd, I should say, if you follow the crowd, you get the results of what the crowd have. But if you want to be a leader, you need to actually be part of that inner crew and the inner circle. Most of the time you have to do things don't other people don't like doing. Okay, now assess your people skills, planning and strategic thinking, your vision and results as well. And understand, you know, when you start a day, right, what is your milestone? So what are you going to achieve on a daily basis as well? Most important thing, seek feedback. Okay, now if you know that something, you know that that is not working within your organization, hey, don't stop doing that, because stop doing things that don't work. Because at the end of the day, leadership is all about a journey where you are fine tuning the process, where you are actually eliminating unproductive things so you can actually increase your effectiveness, which improves, help you lift your lead as well. Okay, so this graph actually summarizes it. Now you can see there, success without leadership and success with leadership. So the key is, if you increase your effectiveness, because if you see your leadership ability and success dedication, now if you don't have the effectiveness, obviously you can clearly see there, I don't need to explain, it's quite self-explanatory, but this actually sums it up when it comes to the effectiveness of the leadership. Okay, now what exactly good leaders look for? Now, good leader, if you want to actually be a good leader, you need to look for lead lifting experiences that help you grow you as a person and also help your capacity of leading others as well. Why? Because seek opportunities to grow your leadership. Now, I call it 3S: seek, search, and siege. Okay. So the first seek is, you want to look for opportunities where you can grow your leadership. You need to go into those unknown territories. You need to take the risk. You need to be that person who lead from the front. Okay, you search for the opportunities to improve your organization structures and also procedures, modify things, fine tune things, identify and seek help, and search for the best opportunities so that you can lead your team best. Now siege opportunities to create greater efficiencies and assist others in lifting their leads. I think this is very, very important. Why? Because it's not only you are improving your efficiency and you're assisting other leaders or other people around you to lift their leads, which improves the overall effectiveness of your leadership and your organization as well. Now every leader faces challenges, obstacles, trials, tribulations. Now, I'm sure every single one who's actually on the Facebook Live agree with me that there are so many people right now are experiencing some unprecedented crisis. We as human race, we're experiencing unprecedented financial crisis, health crisis. There is so much of uncertainty, economic depression. People are, there are some organizations or some industries completely wiped out because of what's going on. And there are some organizations obviously trying to rapidly change the way we do things, right? So what we have to understand is, a true leader, we have to be ready for taking the challenges. Now, this is what happens. The leadership, it all comes to this. Ineffective leaders will wait to see what happens during the tough times. Now, effective leaders will act by seizing the moment and will raise to the challenge. Now, you can choose and you can pick and choose whether you want to be effective or ineffective. See, in my opinion, in my journey of entrepreneurship, guys, I can tell you something. On a daily basis, we have been challenged quite dramatically the way we run our business. We never used to run a business online. right? So 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, when the pandemic hits, so we have to make a decision. So as a leader, so based on my accountability partners, based on somebody I look up to, we completely change the way we do things. Now every change do create an opportunity, and every crisis do create an opportunity. All I request everybody is be an effective leader, seize the moment, rise to the occasion, take the challenge directly upfront, and so that you can raise your lift, you can raise your lid, and you can also increase your effectiveness too. Okay, so there are some things where people are actually confused, I guess, as leaders. So what type of leads that can actually stop people to actually lift their lid? So the first thing is, there are so many. I've listed some of them based on my personal experience, so you can actually add more. But in my opinion, these are the top 12 or 15 I've got there. Why? The first thing is fear. Okay, now what is fear? Now, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Okay, fear is not even real. Fear is a choice. The how you can actually get rid of that fear is by action. Now, I want to share my personal experience. Now, I used to have fear of heights, acrophobia, guys. When I actually, this was back in 2002. Okay, I was scared of heights, right? And I went to a beautiful place called Queenstown in New Zealand, where I actually went with a group of our friends, right? So everyone started to do the bungee. Okay, when we were all buying the tickets for these old crazy adventurous stuff, and I was there. I had so much fear in me, but people around me, because they will actually laugh at me, I actually bought the ticket anyway. Okay, now I made the decision. So when I was up on that, about to jump from the cliff, I had so much fear. I'll be honest with you, I had so much fear. I even told the guy that I'm not going to jump from the cliff and I want to go back. But the guy said is, you believe in yourself, Rao, you have fear. The only way you can conquer that fear is by doing it. And guess what? I have done it. And I actually conquered my fear through action. Okay, that's very, very important, that you need to conquer your fear only by doing things. Like, for example, you're struggling to communicate with your external stakeholders or internal stakeholders, or you're struggling to communicate within your project team, whatever it might be, whatever your fear is. Or if you're scared of talking to people, or if you're scared of actually presenting yourself in an organization, you have to go out there and do it. That's the only way you can actually get rid of that. Number one. Number two, impatience. Now every single thing requires patience. Why? Because if you want to improve your effectiveness, it's very, very, very important that you can't be things will not happen overnight. Trust me, growth takes time. We need to have patience. Okay, next thing is denial, impulsiveness, deceit, jealousy, anger, confidence, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, people's perception of them. Now these are some of the leads which stop people or the leaders to increase their lead and also increase their effectiveness. Okay, now most of them are quite simple and quite understandable, but it's like I said to you that it's a journey every single person need to take, so that you can improve your success. Like, for example, like I said, you can take this opportunity and start writing what actually are your leadership leads, what's stopping you not to improve your effectiveness. You can actually identify, maybe take this as an opportunity, jot down on a piece of paper. At least when you know what your leads are, you can work on how to lift your lead so you can improve your effectiveness as a leader too. Now, basically, like I said to you all, so these are all my top 11 leads I used to have. I always used to work on, and I'm still working on it. And I'm really excited about it, because once you know what your leads are, at least you can focus on working on them to lift them as well, which is fantastic. Okay, now lead lifters. Now these incredible gentlemen needs no introduction, right? So obviously these incredible people are so iconic. Now these lead lifters demonstrate 3 qualities that enables every single person to take their leadership to next level. The first is obviously their words. Second is their actions. Third is their sacrifice. Why? Because these 3 things are going to help you, to improve your effectiveness. Because, for example, what I understood is, if you want to become a person of value, you need to start changing your vocabulary. Okay. Now, I still remember that when I heard one of my mentors, he actually said, right? If you want to change your life, you need to change your vocabulary. Then I started listening to him. I start to emulate him. I start to model him. I start to pattern him. I listen to his audio over and over and over and over and over again so that I can change my vocabulary, because our words are so powerful, because it's very, very important. It's what we say. Because think about it. If you're running a traditional business, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're even in a project work or working in a job, right? Now you can't say a wrong thing to a right person, or you can't say a right thing to a wrong person. So that's why it's very important that your words, very, very important, especially when it comes to leadership, if you want to lead, because that's the first thing you need to work on. Now, second thing is your actions. Now, leader, there is a big difference between somebody being a boss or a manager versus a leader. Why? Being a leader, you need to lead by example. Managers and bosses tell people what to do. Leaders actually show them how it's done. Okay, if you really want to be a great leader, you need to be that person who leads from the front, get in the trenches, roll up your sleeves. When there is an opportunity, when there is an obstacle, you are the one who's taking responsibility. You are the one who's taking accountability. You are the one showing your team what is possible and what they can do and how they can actually become successful too. And obviously the sacrifices, because, you know, I understood one thing, that if you want anyone to work, if you want anyone to basically follow you, the best thing is you need to sacrifice. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Now you need to lead from the front. You need to lead in such a way that you know, you are the most hardest working guy in your team. Now, if you are the hardest working guy in your team, your people will see not what you say, your people will do what you do. Obviously, your sacrifices in bettering your organization, your sacrifices in bettering your company, your sacrifices in bettering your business, that inspires and influence other people to follow, so you can be a great leader too. Okay. So who are the lead lifters in your life? So these two incredible people needs no introduction. They are the people who actually are my personal heroes, personal role models. They're my personal lead lifters as well. So how can we bring the law of lead to life? Now, how are you with the various leads in your life? Now, the first thing is you have to understand that where are you as a person, so you can identify what are the leads and how are you placed with various leads in your life right now, and what is your attitude concerning them. Now, because your attitude, there are two types of things, right? Your attitude determines definitely your altitude. Now, you can't have a negative attitude when it comes to leading. You always need to have that positive attitude, because leadership and the effectiveness of leadership and helping and leading others all comes to how positive you are when you hit the obstacle, how positive you will be when you actually hit the challenges and the roadblocks as well. Now, the next thing is, are you actually taking responsibility for them? The key is this. Now, you know what the leads are and what are you doing about them. Are you taking responsibility for those things which are happening in your life? Now, the last thing is, I guess this is probably very, very important. Do you have enough humility and courage to allow a lead lifter in your area of need? Now, will you allow somebody to come into your life where they will help you? So they could be anybody. They could be your team member. They could be somebody who you look up to. They could be somebody from a different organization. They could be anybody. So will you allow that lead lifter who could be a good leader? Again, understand one thing, guys. It's very important that, you know, you have to understand that we are looking for people who can actually help us, better us, and make us improve our effectiveness in such a way that, you know, we can have that all the areas which requires work, so you can allow that lead lifter to come into your life and change it as well. Okay. Now, there are 4 practical actions. I've just jotted down things here, guys, so that I hope you understand and probably you can actually implement as well. So the first thing is you understand your leadership style. Okay. So how are you actually leading your team right now? So once you understand the major characteristics of your dominant style and explore how these qualities are actually helping or hindering, then you can begin looking for ways to improve your capabilities. Now, it all comes to how are you leading? Are you actually leading your team, and what type of leadership right now you have? And if you can actually look into and identify what's the style, write all the pros and cons, and you can actually become better at it, number 1. Number 2, try new things. Very important. Leadership is a journey. It's not a destination, right? So if you want to improve your effectiveness, seek for help, try new things, and also look at the things that have been effective in the past, those things which have been effective in the past, which are great, and but be on the lookout for the new ways on how you can improve your teamwork, how you can inspire other people, how you can motivate other people, how you can actually inspire and help people grow in their leadership journey as well. And the third thing is develop your knowledge. Now this is very, very, very important. Now it's all about what voices are you hearing on a daily basis, who are you listening to, who are you actually what books are you reading at the moment. Now leadership development is a never ending journey. So in my opinion, the biggest room in the world is room for improvement for any leader. Okay, so all you have to do is focus on how can you improve your effectiveness by reading books, by listening to some great leaders, and maybe even join a leadership mastermind group. I have to say thank you to a couple of people, because I followed in a leadership mastermind group of Simon Sinek, and then many people actually gave me some input to actually give you this information as well. And seek out to all the people who've got a lot of experience and take their advice and implement and develop, because that's the only way you can actually do. Now if you want to have a particular opportunity where you want an executive coach, now probably this is step number 4. Now you're struggling, and maybe hire an executive coach. Because why? Because having an executive coach or a mentor or a business coach, whatever you call, right? So they can give you the perspective, and they comes with a fresh pair of eyes. They can look at exactly what your strengths are. They can teach you how you can leverage your strengths, how can you improve your performance, and they can give you an action plan of the improvement activities. What are the things, areas of improvement? What can you do? How can you actually apply what the improvement activities in every particular area within your organization as well, and having that regular feedback and support, which will help you, because that's the feedback loop system. So that is the best way you can actually have the law of lead comes into your into your organization and into your life as well. Now ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys got some value from today, and I just want to say thank you for allowing me to talk and share a little bit of experience about the law of lead. And I'm really excited about it. Why? Because it actually gave me an opportunity to connect to a lot of people. I can't wait to seek feedback for those people who are watching this. Please do me a favor, please leave some comments there, help me improve my effectiveness as a leader. I can't wait to connect with each and everybody. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Have a great day. Please stay safe and look after your families as well. Take care, and God bless you.